Within the context of this circumstance, men are understandably the ones that can be sacrificed, despite the fact that in the past, society and governments have considered men as if they were rubbish or utilities. In times of crisis, society and governments seek to men for solutions. This is despite the fact that men have traditionally held less power in society. These days, ideas such as female empowerment are all the rage. But the fact of the matter is that the powerful people of the world do not want women to work in the sewage systems, fix the electrical grid, or fish in the middle of the ocean at 5 in the morning. This is because these types of jobs are traditionally male-dominated occupations. This is due to the fact that traditionally, men have held the majority of these types of employment. In our society, men virtually always take up leadership jobs like those described above. As a result of this, when some men still go out in search of a decent lady, they wind up meeting women who believe they are powerful, independent, and do not want the support of a guy. As a result of this, some men still go out in search of a decent lady. Because it's so funny, I can't help but wonder, what exactly do you mean by that? To clarify, what I mean is that a woman's worth is inherently superior to that of a man's just owing to the fact that she is a female. I have reason to believe that this is the truth due to the fact that women were accorded preferential treatment back when we were hunter-gatherers, and this treatment has persisted all the way up until the present day. I wish I could claim that we are protected, but the truth is that boys are being told things along the lines of I wish I could say that we are protected, but the reality is that okay, you're a man now. Get up, pull your socks up to your chin, and get on with what needs to be done. I appreciate how open she is, and I think the manner that she expresses her thoughts is brilliant. This made me want to talk about how badly men are treated, the difficult things that they go through, and how modern women give men very few reasons to date or marry them. I also wanted to talk about how modern women give men very few reasons to date or marry them. In addition to this, I wanted to discuss the fact that contemporary women provide men with very few reasons to date or marry them. Being a horrible, self-centered, and belligerent person does not make one resilient. Rather, it makes one difficult to interact with because of their difficult personality traits. You should never give someone the opportunity to persuade you otherwise because you are right and they are wrong. That is something that is universally acknowledged. If a man and a woman are found guilty of committing the same crime or engaging in the same immoral behavior, they should at the very least be subject to the same punishment. This is the prevailing theory. For instance, it shouldn't really make a difference if a murderer is a male or a woman, because the offender should be sentenced to the same number of years in jail, regardless of their gender. Another example would be that it shouldn't really make a difference if a drug dealer is a man or a woman, because drug dealers should be given the same number. On the other hand, this kind of thing really does not take place very often at all in actual practice. Because I am conscious that it is not simple to go through life without accidentally insulting someone else. I shall be mindful in my word selection. Learn more about it by reading this fascinating article. That is true that it sounds absurd, but it is precisely what happened in 2020. And they are set to get a prison sentence that has not yet been decided upon. A small boy by the name of Lucio, who was only 5 years old and completely defenseless, was brutally put to death by his mother, Magdalena, and the person she was seeing at the time. On Thursday, February 2, Lucio de Piaz was handed over to his mother, Magdalena Esposito Valenti, thanks to a feminist judge by the name of Ana Clara Perez. Ballester, Magdalena Esposito Valenti, was found guilty on Thursday. This is a much more significant problem than it may have seemed at first glance. Everyone pretty much feels like they have no option but to believe that women are faultless, blameless, and angelic. However, males are continually taught that they are worthless, and this reinforces their belief that women are perfect, blameless, and angelic. This breaking news disproves that assertion. And although the Passport Brothers are now going to other locations in Latin America and South America, Argentina is not a smart choice for them because feminism has a strong foothold in that country. Moreover, the Passport Brothers are now going to other locations in Latin America and South America. As can be seen, insanity is not relegated to Western nations such as the United States alone. In many places of the world, including Spain, where aggression from a man toward a woman is on the rise, men are having a difficult time. Spain is one such country. Take note of the fact that I do not endorse any form of violence and that I value peace, understanding, and tranquility just as much as you do. This news and these data merely demonstrate that things are getting worse for guys and that no matter what they do, they are always considered as potential criminals in society. This is true regardless of what they do. Imagine that over the course of many years, you have put in a lot of effort and that you now feel like you are ready to get married to a beautiful woman. You do, but when there's a fight in the house, she calls the police and throws you in jail. Despite the fact that you weren't responsible for the fight in the first place, despite the fact that you did what she asked, she still throws you in jail. She did nothing to you, but she used a lot of events to her advantage, and as a result, your life became an absolute living hell as a result of her actions. Even in contexts in which men treat women with kindness and generosity, it is possible for men to behave toward other guys in a manner that suggests they are worthless trash. I'm interested, Jen, in hearing about the things you bring to the table. After that, the individual would react with the question, well, who pays the bills? What does your car look like? Where do you work? And can you tell me about what you do there? Are you going to make an effort to ensure the safety of the people you care about? Do you have any previous experience in the field of battle? Would you watch out for me and make sure I was safe if I found myself in a dangerous situation? They would have a lengthy list of questions, at which point he would remark, I could hardly keep up, to which they would retort, this does not make any sense. Women in today's culture frequently talk about how important it is to achieve gender equality, but they also frequently want to hold on to the benefits they have. For instance, they need quotas to be met in order to enter particular professions or obtain degrees from particular educational institutions. The irony here is that many of the women who campaign for this kind of equality don't even like their occupations or degrees, but they do so nonetheless because they believe it is more important to be right and authoritative than it is to be happy. Why bother doing something you enjoy if all you have to do to get through life is disrespect men? If that's all you have to do, then why bother? Scumbags when they hit a wall. The good men that women desire wind up being cheated on and mistreated by other people because they have nowhere else to turn. As a consequence of this, men have a lower propensity to be courteous to one another and a higher propensity to branch out on their own or altogether disregard contemporary women. Going back to the example that was given at the beginning, let's say that you are working harder because you want to create a beautiful life for your wife and your children. In the event that you become fragile or demonstrate signs of susceptibility, she is fully within her rights to exercise any one of her options, which may include filing for divorce if this becomes necessary. When you pay someone to carry out a task, it increases the likelihood that they will continue carrying out the task. This goes beyond merely being a matter of intellectual convictions due to the fact that there is money at stake. I won't tell you that your soulmate is out there waiting for you and is eager to support your aspirations, but I will tell you that every cloud has a lining of silver and that there is a silver lining to every cloud. However, I want to remind you that there is a silver lining to every cloud and that there is a silver lining to every cloud.